Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. Gosh, I had a very full meditational time this morning. It was almost hard to sift through what today's talk would be about, but it's come pretty clear now. I want to start off by reminding you that you are the God consciousness, expressing and experiencing, coming awake to your true identity and your creative empowerment through this unique perspective that you know as you and your unique pathway of consciousness to that awakening to your true identity. That's very important to today's message. You are a powerful creator. You are a director of energy. Your desires, your intentions, true heart's intentions, your fears, your expectations, your desires, your beliefs about what is true and possible for you in the world. All of those things combined, they're all energy. They all have an electromagnetic energy, and they show up in the world, in your life, in your body, in the world you inhabit as your physical experience. You are a powerful creator, and you are the God consciousness coming awake to itself, to yourself, through this perspective and pathway that you know as yourself in your life right now. That's important because the next thing that is so important is we create our reality from the present moment. As my teacher Seth said, the present is your point of power. The present moment is where, and listen up, the point of power is the present moment, and the present moment is the point from which you create your past and your future. You're not in the past. Where you're focused right now is this moment. You hold information and beliefs about your past and what your past is. You hold expectations and projected information and desires and intentions about what your future experience is. But you exist in the present moment. The reason I'm bringing this up, and I'm going to bring this down to very practical, right now things are looking pretty crazy around the planet, and in the United States for sure. Trump took power, and right now things are just cartwheeling. There's so much fear in all kinds of neighborhoods where there are immigrants. Immigrant populations are not going to work. We've got evidently food sitting on the vine, rotting in the fields because the workers don't want to go to work and do the harvest because they're afraid that immigration is going to come and take them away. Prices are already going up. Eggs have shot up from $4 a dozen to $6 a dozen. Things are getting a little crazy, or they sure look like they are. And there's just all kinds of things going on. Trump signed an executive order that gets rid of the Department of Equality and Inclusion. It's a very charged time for sure, boots on the ground in the US if you're living here, but it affects everybody across the planet. The whole world is not only watching this, but bowing up to react to what this government might or might not do and the trouble it might or might not create in the world quality of life, the world economy, etc. So your point of power is the present. No one controls or dictates your timeline, what you experience in your life now or going forward. And I want to say here too, timelines aren't just about time, they are about content. What do we hold as being true? What did happen in our past? What was true? What will be true in our future? What's true for us now? Timelines are about content, what happens, not just how quickly does it happen or not happen in Earth time. So from the present moment that you are inhabiting, you create your own timeline. No one else gets to dictate that for you. No one else dictates which version you vibrate with. And the thing is, so let's look at the past. from the present moment, what we can agree on, since you're watching this, is that Trump got into power in the US. No matter where you are in the world, Trump got into power in the US. There are multiple versions of how that happened and what your truth in the present moment is. Your truth for the past that you hold from your present moment may be that, yeah, Trump got in, yay, he got in legitimately, and this is how it's going to be, and this is what we wanted. From your present moment, you may hold that, yeah, Trump got in, but he and Elon Musk and maybe Russia and gosh knows who else did something and stole votes and manipulated the votes, and so he got in, but he stole it from Kamala, and Kamala should be in. And we'll talk about going forward in a moment. And there may be other versions of where you are in the present moment as to what went on in the past. Moving into the future, your present moment is your point of power. All possibilities exist there. So with this situation, with Trump currently in power, we all agree on that. Going forward, there are quite a few options for which version of the timeline we want to experience or will experience for our own reasons. But from this present moment, remember, all infinite possibilities and versions of the timeline are available because you're not there yet. You're here in this present moment. So we need to look at not only which version of the past are we vibrating with as our truth in that present moment. We need to look at the possible versions going forward and make conscious choices which version to vibrate in, which timeline we prefer to experience. So there's certainly a version in which, yeah, Trump won and he stays in power for 4 years and he goes on and does whatever. Whatever could be that he sows fear and terror throughout the country and division and hatred. It could be that he drives all the prices up and our inflation goes up on food and everything else in the country. It could be that he essentially starts or almost starts World War III because he doesn't want to cooperate or collaborate with partners around the world. He wants to dominate and control and be the boss of the world. You could vibrate with the timeline going forward that, yes, he stays in power and he makes some really beneficial changes for the country and the way things are done around the world. You could even vibrate in a timeline in which he stays in power and he has a change of heart and shifts from that power domination, rule the world paradigm to collaboration, cooperation, work with everybody to have a win-win situation for everybody. There could be a version that he tries to put very destructive policies into place, but that he's continually blocked by Congress, senators, states fighting for their own rights, that kind of thing. So there's all kinds of ways that could go. You could vibrate with a version of the timeline in which he doesn't stay in power. And that could happen in different ways. He could become very ill and not be able to be in power anymore. Something could happen to him. Not wishing, just saying something could happen to him. It could be discovered, information could be brought out, real evidence, information, that he and Musk and whoever else was involved, Russia or whoever, really did alter the outcome of the election. And Kamala or someone else could be installed into the presidency of the United States. I said in my video that I did a day or two after the election about Trump and the presidency and Kamala, that I have not been able to see him staying in power. In the timeline version, evidently, that I'm vibrating in, I do not see him being president of this country for 4 years. I don't see it. What I've consistently seen is him lasting a month or two, maybe 3, maybe 6, but it's more strongly a month or 2 or 3. That is not an absolute prediction of what will happen. It is a strong possibility, energetic possibility swirling in our collective timeline that we're all choosing from and choosing what to vibrate with together. So what I'm saying though is that your present moment is where you hold as true. This is what's been true. This is who I am and what's been true in my life. This is my identity. This is my story. You're choosing that past story from the present moment, and you are choosing your story moving forward from many possible versions. So what's important here? That no one creates your timeline and your experience for you. No one dictates or creates your reality experience for you. And that you, coming into awareness of your true identity and creative empowerment, start realizing that you get to choose which version to vibrate with from the past and which version to vibrate in the future. You get to choose, even if Trump is in power for the next few years, you get to choose, does that mean my life is going to be ruined, my personal experience is going to be unhappy, and I'm not going to survive, or I'm not going to be okay? Or am I going to choose, okay, someone I don't care for is in power, there are things going on around me that are not my favorite, nonetheless, I can be okay. I can be okay in my personal experience. That no matter what happens, whether he stays in power or he doesn't, no matter what happens, it's all for the good, and it's for your good individually, and it's for the best interest of everybody. Like, that's where you raise up higher and get out of the little details down in the muck, go up higher and choose, okay, whatever plays out in the details, it's going to be for my good and for everybody's good. Intend your good and the good of everyone on the planet comes out of this, whatever that needs to look like. Because the universal mind, which your right brain is the connection to the universal mind, can hold all of the possibilities and can seem to magically make things happen because it's not constrained by what is or isn't possible in our minds and in our earth time. So as long as you're holding, it's all coming out for the good, my own good and the good of everyone on the planet, make that your intention and let the universal mind fill in the details. You don't have to micromanage the how, the what. Another variation of the timeline version that we could experience, choose to vibrate with, would be that, yeah, as we've said, Trump is in power, no matter how he got there, how you believe or hold that he got there, but that he does create so much distress and fear and struggle and heartache within the country that even some of his own followers or people that voted for him start feeling like, uh-oh, we put our support behind the wrong horse here. Gosh, I wish I hadn't done that kind of thing. It's one of those things that could turn out to, even though it didn't look very good at the time and doesn't look very pleasant right now, turn out to be for the good of everyone. It could be that now the collective consciousness of this country is more accepting and more ready to vibrate in the timeline in which something happens to where he's no longer in power. Again, be it he's taken out of power, information comes forth and Kamala's put in, or someone, doesn't matter. There's all kinds of possibilities. We don't have to control the what and how. But the point is it could be that the collective consciousness, because of what we're going through right now, will be more accepting of a change in leadership, no matter how that happens. So once again, the highest place we can go to is we are powerful creators, co-creators, and we can choose what to vibrate with. And that being the case, we can choose to vibrate with whatever timeline is best for everybody, for the individuals, for the country, and for the world going forward. And I will also share something with you. I've sat on this for a day or two because I didn't know what to do with it, and in a way I still don't, but I'm going to share it. For the last couple of days, I have felt so strongly that something in the energetic collective, something big is about to happen. Something, for lack of a better word, explosive, but just something so big that everybody takes notice and is aware of it. I don't know if that's some big shocking revelation of information about the American elections and Trump or something else. I don't know if that's some kind of big shocking change in what's going on with Russia and Putin, Ukraine or Gaza. and or if it's some kind of physical thing like a volcano blows and really, creates ashy, darkened skies for a couple of days. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm saying I don't know. I have just felt so strongly that I actually went to the Walmart yesterday and just bought some extra beans and canned goods and just stocked up a little bit. And not because I'm predicting something horrible, scary is going to happen, but I think it's an animal reaction of something big is about to happen. And I think it's that creature animal reaction of, oh, gather my nuts for the winter or something. I don't feel that whatever it is going to threaten our well-being. I feel like we're okay. You're okay, I'm okay, we're okay, we're going to be okay. But I'm just saying the energy just feels so impending of something big that I had sort of this creature, I can almost smile at it, but this almost creature reaction of, well, let's just go get a few extra bags of beans and cans of soup just in case. And that's what we did. And I didn't have any fear or urgency or any anxiety around that whatsoever. Just have a little something around in case we need it, kind of thing, for a couple days. So today's message really did also involve parallel universes, timelines, probable realities that we get to choose from more and more as conscious co-creators. So I will remind you that I did a weekly spirit talk last Tuesday on parallel realities and universes and timelines. And I have made that publicly available on my Patreon page. I'll put the link below. You don't have to join Patreon to watch it. It's just free to the public. And this coming week's Spirit Talk will be on Tuesday, the 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be, at least for a good portion of that, following up with more information about timelines and parallel universes and how we interweave them and how we can either go directly or we can go over the river and through the woods and still get to the same place, which we are, by the way, which we are. We are ascending, and that is happening no matter what. We get to choose the version of the timeline we experience getting there. So if you'd like to join me for this coming Tuesday's Spirit Talk, where we talk more about parallel universes, I'll leave a link for that below, and I do highly recommend, if you're going to do that, watch the first one back so that you have that backstory and information from which to proceed here this coming Tuesday. Thanks for watching today, guys. We're fine. Everybody's fine. You're powerful creators, and just know that and love yourselves and be generous and kind to yourselves and others.